Let me introduce my next guest this morning because we're going to be answering to your questions, which were many in regards to the Tesla Bitcoin price correlation. So to weigh in the situation, I'd like to bring to the show Daniel Ives, Managing Director, Equity Research, Wedbush Securities. Good morning, Daniel, and thank you so much for taking your time.
Yeah, great to be here. Thanks.
So, Dan, I'd like to kick off with exactly your statement. You said that there is a correlation between Tesla's price and Bitcoin price. How did you reach the conclusion?
Look, right now, if you look, Tesla, they've made about $1 billion in Bitcoin so far in 6 weeks. That's more than they made of all EV profits, 2020. And look, this is still small. It's less than 10% of cash. But for perception's reality, and right now they're a bit tied at the hip in terms of Bitcoin, Musk, and Tesla. And I continue to think it was the right strategic move. I mean, I believe this is going to have a ripple effect for other corporations. We've seen MicroStrategy, Square, and others. And for Tesla, it's just going to be another part of the story. Adds to volatility, finding the right move at the right time.
On the other hand, many of our viewers are saying, all right, Tesla is rallying, Bitcoin is selling, and the vice versa. So how do you explain these contradictions?
Well, I think ultimately what's going to take Tesla to, we believe, $1 trillion market cap in the coming months is EV. I mean, we're going into a golden age of EV. It's a $5 trillion market over the next decade. And right now, it's Tesla's world. Everyone else is paying rent. Now, Bitcoin is going to play a role there in terms of from an investment perspective, but it's not necessarily moving the needle in terms of, ultimately really being the impediment or the catalyst to getting Tesla to $1 trillion market cap.
So where do you see Tesla in the following 12 months in terms of price tag?
So 950 is our base target, 1250 is our bull case. Because I think right now, in terms of EV, it's only 3% penetration globally. We believe going to 10% by 2025. And that's why really right now it's a golden age for EVs. Tesla leading the charge. But also you're seeing a green tidal wave across the US, across parts of Europe, and especially China. That continues to be the hearts and lungs of the EV thesis. And if you look right now, Tesla's on a trajectory to beat 1 million units by 2022. And that's why, even though we've seen a bit of a pause or risk off in the stock or EV names, I think it's short-lived. I think these stocks continue to move much higher.
Well, that's very interesting. You just mentioned that it's going to be a very interesting season for the EV sector. Talking about EVs, what's your take on NIO, which is a Chinese company so far trading lower in pre-market trading after worse than expected results? And not only, actually, it signaled that this chips shortages is going to be, of course, difficult. It's going to cause difficulties when it comes to production. So do you think that NIO and other companies might or are able to compete with Tesla?
Well, right now, I look at NIO as just a massive opportunity in China. And if I look, they sort of check every box from a battery technology, model, and brand. And I think this is a knee-jerk reaction. Look, the chip shortages from GM to NIO, that's going to continue to be a headwind. You saw Tesla shut down their factory for about, call it 10 to 12 days because of it. But if I look in terms of the China market, I mean, China alone is $1 trillion market opportunity. And when I look at NIO, XPeng, and others, we're super bullish on the Chinese EV players. And it's still a green light to own these names, especially on pullbacks, which we view as called near term.
I just want to take a step back and get back to the Bitcoin because it's an extremely speculative asset. We do see a huge volatility over there. Do you think there would be a major acceptance for the cryptocurrency after Tesla's moving to invest $1.5 billion into the cryptocurrency?
Yeah, and when Musk talks, others listen. And you've seen it with Dorsey at Square and Saylor at MicroStrategy. We believe 3 to 5% of public companies will invest in some form of crypto or Bitcoin over the next 12 to 18 months. Now, you need more regulatory goalposts put in to see more broader adoption, but nonetheless, this is going to be a significant impact across the board. And as we've seen before, I mean, Tesla goes to the beat of their own drum. And just like we're seeing here, they're not going to listen to the haters and naysayers. They believe in Bitcoin. They're not just talking the talk, but walking the walk.
That also very interesting. I just want to talk about this very nice market rotation that we saw in the past 2 weeks. On the other hand, it was a major beginning for the month when it comes to the Nasdaq, which was up about 3%, and it's up about 1.89% in the past month and 0.41% in the past week. Do you think the big tech is back? And also, what's your view in the tech sector? Is there any space for growth in 2021?
Yeah, big techs continuing to flex their muscles. Look at Zoom last night. You know, a lot of naysayers saying that rally's over, and that was sort of a drop the mic moment in terms of fiscal 22. We think tech stocks are up another 25-30% this year. And you're going to have some of these rotations with the 10-year and, you know, many saying that you'll see the tech rally over. I believe we're still only in the middle innings of a re-rating of tech, and it continues to be a Goldilocks backdrop really across the consumer and enterprise ecosystem, led by cloud, cybersecurity, e-commerce, and 5G. And I think that, you know, these are stocks that continue to move higher, despite some of the white knuckles that we've seen, even going back to the Reddit mania a few weeks ago.
In fact, talking about a Reddit mania, the Reddit army, what's your take on everything that happened? And not only we saw a surge in commodities, surge in penny stocks, and surge in treasury yields. Do you find any logic?
Well, I think the broader point, when you take a step back, is the institutional investor through Robinhood, Reddit, and others. They're starting to get more power at the table. They're no longer at the kids' table. So you're starting to see more and more of a say in the market. And obviously, the Reddit mania, you know, that definitely got over their skis and caused volatility across the board. And, you know, unfortunately, many, you know, we're on the other side of that. But I think the broader point here is you're seeing a more diversified, institutional as well as individual investor participate in this market. And especially with SPACs across the board, I think that's really the trend. I think that's a positive trend overall for stocks, but I just think it's going to take some time for this all to sort of navigate itself.
So what are you suggesting to our viewers seeing this you know, huge volatility on markets, and one day we do see a major rally, the other day we do see a major sell-off, market rotation, treasury yields higher, bond yields higher? I don't want to talk only about treasuries because we do see also higher bond yields here in Europe. So what would you advise our viewers in terms of sectors?
Tune out the noise, and you own tech, in our opinion. Cybersecurity is a name. I think that sector overall could be up 30 to 40%. I think EV names could be up as much as 50%. The Chinese players, I think GM could see a re-rating. And then you look at Tesla as really what I view as the gargantuan name, $1 trillion market cap this year. And then you look overall cloud, Microsoft, Salesforce continue to be some of our favorite picks. DocuSign is another name. So to me, you use the pullbacks to own the secular winners, tune the noise out, use it as opportunities. And I think it's a bright green light to own tech and EV stocks here.
When you talk about the tech, do you also mean Apple, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, the FANGs?
FANG names are going to lead the stocks higher, in my opinion. I think FANG names are up 25-30%. Our top large cap names, Apple. The super cycle led by this iPhone 12 5G. I think that we've just done our checks in Asia. That is continuing to just be robust. China, the linchpin to that. And I think Apple, we talk 6 to 9 months from now, we're looking at a $3 trillion market cap for Apple.
That's very interesting. I just wanted to show you the Apple chart. It's off about 7%, almost 7% in the past month. So do we have to buy the dip?
Oh, I think it's a buy the dip on this name. This is just a knee-jerk post results. I think something there's going to be more cuts to iPhone demand we're not seeing across our Asia checks. This is a super cycle playing out. It's a re-rating story on services. Apple continues to be a core name and our top large cap name going into this year.
All right. Thank you very much. Daniel Ives, Managing Director, Equity Research, Wedbush Securities. Thank you for joining us and have a great day.
You too.